Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for part 3 of our East Coast road trip. We took off on another early morning to head down to Wrightsville Beach. I hadn't ever stepped foot in the East Coast waters, so to say I was excited to mark this off my travel bucket list would be an understatement. It was beautiful, but so cold. After the beach, we headed to Myrtle Beach to check out their outlet malls. It was a total ghost town, but it was really fun. We got to even feed the fish, and that was probably my favorite part. Our next stop was Ripley's Aquarium. I was like a kid on Christmas. I was so excited. I've never been to an aquarium before. I know, crazy. But walking through the tunnels with all the fish and even the sharks. Yes, the sharks. They were really, really neat to see. It was beautiful. If you've never been to an aquarium, I would definitely add this to your travel bucket list. Our next stop was to check out the Myrtle Beach Boardwalk. It was so neat. It was right across from the ocean and it just went on for miles. It was beautiful there. The pier was one of my favorite things. We paid just a couple dollars and got to walk out into the water, and it was just so neat to see. And all the fishermen were catching tons of fish. It was awesome. We wrapped up Myrtle Beach and headed down to Charleston. Our very first stop there was this really neat park called the Battery, and it was right on the water, and we luckily brought our bikes with us. So we took them around town to see all of the historical houses and buildings. Downtown Charleston was beautiful. Okay, so we totally lucked out again and got a really awesome Airbnb in Charleston. It was like a brand new construction house and everything was pristine and perfect. They even had snacks. We snagged a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house, and everything was decorated to the nines. I left such a good review for this Airbnb because it was probably my favorite place I've ever stayed. Well, next to Washington, D.C., that is. But I hope that anyone that ever goes to Charleston will stay in this house. It was perfect. We were back on the road again, but this time to Hilton Head. We stayed in a cute little part of Hilton Head Island called Caligny Plaza, and it was such a bike-friendly town. I had no idea how lucky we were that we brought our bikes with us. So, of course, we had to get on and go for a ride around all of those cute little trails around town. One of my most favorite memories from this entire trip was getting to ride our bikes on the beach. Yep, we rode our road bikes on the beach. It was really surprising because the sand was like concrete, so it was super easy to ride through, and it was probably the most gorgeous place we've ever ridden our bikes. I really can't wait to go back and do this again. And our night was complete with Hilton Headopoly. We got a day pass to an area in Sea Pines called Harbor Town, and it was a really neat stop. We were so glad that we found it. Everywhere in this town surrounds this really cute little lighthouse, and of course, we had to eat lunch while we were there. We stopped at the Crazy Crab and had a delicious lunch. Not the worst view I've ever had for lunch. The onion rings were delicious, the fish sandwich was even better, and oh, of course the sweet potato fries were perfect. After lunch, we headed out on another bike ride and saw this little guy. Oh, and this guy too. And just like that, it was finally time to make our last stop of the trip. We headed down to Savannah, Georgia, with coffee, of course. They almost got my name right. Downtown Savannah was really neat. You could feel the history surrounding you everywhere you turned. We made one quick stop for breakfast to grab a bagel and just a little bit more coffee. This cute place was called Collins Quarter. Hey, little guy. And back on the road we went. We were headed for Little Rock. About 11 hours later, and we were finally home to our little fur children. They were excited to see us.